Today is October 10th, 2019. Just yesterday was the final game of the National League Division Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Washington Nationals. On my previous Chronicle 14, the vlog about going to the Dodger game for the first time, I made a prediction that the Dodgers will win the World Series. And of course, yesterday, the Dodgers lost to the Washington Nationals. Alright, no more predictions. My predictions was wrong. But anyways, Dodgers had a great season. Hopefully they will go back into the postseason and get into the World Series next year. Back on September 22nd, it was the IndyCar Finale at Laguna Seca. The IndyCar Series makes its return back to Laguna Seca after a long absence in the schedule. With that, let's recap the final race of the 2019 NTT IndyCar Series season. Firstly, Colton Herta won the pole position for that race. In the opening laps of the race, Colton Herta would manage his car and maintain the lead through the first stint. In terms of the championship contenders, simply put, Josef Newgarden would have to maintain a substantial amount of points to maintain the championship points lead for the championship. For the other contenders like Rossi, Dixon, and Pagano, they would have to hope Josef Newgarden would have some sort of issue and they would have to finish, at least win the race to win the championship. It is great seeing the IndyCar Series back racing at Laguna Seca. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to the event this year, but hopefully next season I'll definitely try to make it out to Laguna Seca. There are some good battling mid-pack as Josef Newgarden tries to continue to maintain the points lead throughout this race, managing his position and his car well enough to stay within that championship points lead, with the other championship contenders battling for position as well, even trying to win this race. For the majority of the race, Colton Herta would be the leader. His closest contender would be Will Power. But in the end, Colton Herta held off Will Power and the rest of the field to earn his second career win. Josef Newgarden would finish the race in 8th place, which is good enough to maintain the points lead for the 2019 NTT IndyCar Series Championship. This being his second IndyCar Series Championship. Congratulations to Josef Newgarden. Congratulations also has to be given to Felix Rosenqvist, who finished with enough points to get the Rookie of the Year award. And with the manufacturer title between Honda and Chevy, Honda would win the Manufacturers Championship. Between the final race of the season until now, there has been a lot of news coming from the IndyCar Series. The weekend after the IndyCar Series Finale at Laguna Seca, the two-time IndyCar Series champion, Josef Newgarden, would demo his IndyCar at the NASCAR Roval at Charlotte Motor Speedway. This posed the question if NASCAR and IndyCar could have a race on the same weekend together. In my opinion, this would be great for motorsports fans to have the NASCAR Cup Series and the IndyCar Series race on the same track on the same weekend. The Roval at Charlotte Motor Speedway would be a great track for the IndyCar Series to race on. Back in the beginning of the month of October, they tested the aeroscreen with Will Power and Scott Dixon at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In the post-test interviews, Scott Dixon and Will Power would mention that it sounds a lot quieter in terms of the airflow passing by you, and they said you could really hear the engine. The engine sounds louder with this aeroscreen on. They also posed concerns about getting in and out of the car. They mentioned that the AMR safety team has been practicing with the aeroscreen to perform safety procedures. Overall, that initial test at Indianapolis Motor Speedway was great. The aeroscreen proved to not disturb the balance of the car, with Will Power and Scott Dixon explaining it as it is a well-balanced car, and it drives just like before. After that test, Chip Ganassi Racing announced a new driver for their racing team. They're not taking anybody out. They've announced a third driver for their IndyCar team, and that is Marcus Ericsson. He will be driving the number 8 Chip Ganassi IndyCar, along with Scott Dixon in the number 9 IndyCar, and his fellow countryman, Felix Rosenqvist, who drives the number 10 IndyCar. And then just a couple days ago, the IndyCar Series would test the aeroscreen again at Barber Motorsports Park. That test was done by Ryan Hunter-Reay and Simon Pagenaud. With that, they were lucky to test the aeroscreen in the rain. I have yet to read articles or see any post-test interviews about their reactions to the aeroscreen in the rain. With that, I look forward to seeing the aeroscreen on track with every car next season. With that, that is my recap of the IndyCar Finale at Laguna Seca, as well as all the news that has come out from the IndyCar Series until now. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to click like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and thank you for watching, guys.